Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will turn the pages of The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, published in 1943, is a whimsical yet profound novella about a young prince's journey across planets, exploring life's deeper truths. Combining elements of fable, philosophy, and satire, the book is a poignant critique of modern society and a heartfelt meditation on human relationships and values. Plot summary. In the vast and desolate expanse of the Sahara Desert, a pilot finds himself stranded after his airplane suffers a mechanical failure. As he works on repairs, he is startled by the unexpected appearance of a boy, a strange, golden-haired child, who asks him to draw a sheep. Confused yet intrigued, the pilot learns that this mysterious child is the Little Prince, who comes from a tiny planet no larger than a house. The Little Prince describes his home, a world adorned with 3 volcanoes, one of which is extinct, and a single, peculiar flower. This flower, a rose of delicate beauty and fragile vanity, demands the prince's attention and care. Though captivated by her, he becomes perplexed and hurt by her haughty demeanor. Seeking clarity and understanding, the Little Prince decides to leave his planet and embark on a journey across the cosmos. His travels lead him to several neighboring asteroids, each inhabited by a single adult whose life is consumed by narrow concerns. On one, he meets a king who craves authority over all he surveys, issuing commands to ensure obedience, even when none are present to follow them. Another planet is home to a vain man who seeks admiration yet lives in solitude. On yet another, a tippler spends his days drinking to forget the shame of his drinking, trapped in a cycle of despair. A businessman he encounters counts stars obsessively, convinced that owning them grants him wealth and purpose, though he does nothing with his vast celestial possessions. Continuing his journey, the Little Prince visits a lamplighter, who diligently lights and extinguishes a street lamp each minute, as his rapidly rotating planet demands. The prince admires the lamplighter's devotion to his work, though he pities the futility of his task. On the 6th planet, he meets a geographer, who records facts about the universe but never explores it himself. When the geographer suggests visiting Earth, the Little Prince accepts, curious about this strange and populous world. Upon arriving on Earth, the prince is struck by its vastness and initially believes himself alone. In the desert, he meets a snake, who cryptically offers to help him return to his planet when he wishes. The snake's words linger with an air of quiet foreboding. Wandering further, the prince encounters a flower with 3 petals, who remarks on the transient nature of human existence. In the mountains, he hears echoes of his voice, realizing that the inhabitants of this world seem to lack imagination, merely repeating what they hear. His journey leads him to a blooming rose garden, and the sight overwhelms him. The prince's cherished rose had claimed to be unique in the universe, but here were thousands of similar flowers. He feels deceived and small, his once precious flower reduced in significance. In his despair, he lies down among the roses, his thoughts heavy with loss and longing. It is then that a fox appears, offering companionship but lamenting that he is not yet tamed. Curious, the prince learns that to tame is to establish bonds, to make someone or something unique and irreplaceable. Through patience and shared moments, the Little Prince tames the fox, who imparts a profound truth. What is essential is invisible to the eye. The fox teaches the prince that his rose, though just one among many, is singular because of the care and love he has given her. This revelation renews the prince's sense of purpose. Before departing, the fox shares a bittersweet goodbye, reminding the prince that love carries joy and sorrow in equal measure. The prince, now wiser, continues his exploration, meeting a railway switchman who reveals the restless nature of human travelers, always chasing destinations but seldom content. A merchant selling a thirst-quenching pill further illustrates the absurdity of prioritizing convenience over life's simple pleasures. As days pass, the prince grows closer to the pilot, who continues his efforts to repair the plane. Together, they discuss life, love, and the prince's travels. The Little Prince recounts his worries about the flower he left behind, fretting over whether she is protected from the sheep he asked the pilot to draw. The pilot, deeply moved, promises to create a muzzle for the sheep and a shield for the flower. When the pilot's water supply dwindles, he and the prince venture into the desert in search of sustenance. They discover a well, and as they drink, the prince reflects on the wonder of life, noting that true beauty lies not in what is seen, but in the unseen. The pilot is struck by the prince's wisdom and innocence, marveling at how profoundly the boy understands the world. However, the prince becomes increasingly homesick. He confides in the pilot that his journey on Earth must soon end. Returning to the desert, the prince meets the snake, who promises to send him back to his star. Though the pilot begs him to stay, the prince reassures him, explaining that his departure will allow him to watch over those he loves. He asks the pilot to remember him whenever he looks at the stars, imagining their laughter echoing from the heavens. The following morning, the prince allows the snake to bite him, his small body crumpling to the ground. The pilot, heartbroken, tends to his lifeless form, but by the next day, the prince's body is gone. The pilot fixes his plane and leaves the desert, carrying the memory of the little prince with him. Years later, the pilot reflects on his time with the prince, cherishing the lessons learned and the bond they shared. He gazes at the stars, hoping that the little prince is safe on his tiny planet, tending to his beloved rose and watching over the universe with a tender heart. That's it for now. If you enjoyed this, check out other books by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. You'll find them in the description or just search for them on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Antoine de Saint-Exupéry's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.